Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, with my two amazing co-hosts, Michelle up top and Matthew coming below. How are you doing, Michelle? What are you thinking about this season that's about to start? And what are your thoughts about this draft we're about to do?
I'm good. I'm very excited. I saw the trailer and it looks insane. There's going to be what we were missing from Challenge CBS, the fight points and the hookup points. We pretty much had none the whole season. That's going to be remedied with 38. There's going to be so many fights. There's going to be at least a couple hookups. So it's going to be a dramatic season, and I feel like for the draft, it might not necessarily be the person with the winning team that actually wins. Like there's actually an opportunity, I think, with all the drama that's going to happen for anybody to really take it. So I'm excited.
Take the win.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And you, Matthew, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this season. I've been enjoying the documentary on MTV the last couple weeks, so it's just getting me hyped up for this season. Super excited to draft. I'm having a debate internally whether I should go with my heart or my head with my picks, because there are some definite heart picks on this cast that will be tempting for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I totally agree with you that I'm kind of like, sometimes it's like half the team's like really good. I'm like, are they going to be able to pull them through? Or half of them is good socially. Is that going to pull them through? Or is the fact that they're going to be in the bottom, they're going to be thrown in? Like there are so many different factors to kind of determine who I want. I did make an order, but I don't know if I might change. I probably won't change on the fly because I will have Fanta's order as well. And so I'm going to probably stick pretty true just for fairness sake.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely did the list a few times. And I'm like, is that good? So I might feel a little bit upset myself when I'm like, oh, maybe I should have taken that person for the fight points or the hookup points, or as you said, all those other different scenarios. We do have some friends joining us here in the chat for our draft. Hi, Haley. So does anyone know where I can watch the Challenge 36? It's not on Hulu or Paramount Plus. I'm trying to watch in order and finish 36 and 37 before the 38 premiere. We're in Canada. So do we have any thoughts over here?
I've got a link if you need it. There's a channel on YouTube that has like all the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot me a DM on Twitter if you want, and I can send you the link.
For sure. And yeah, I would assume that MTV.com would also have all the seasons. I do feel if you're in Canada that CTV might at least have those 36 and 37, I feel. Because MTV.ca now just switches over to CTV. So we can figure it out. So yeah, if you have trouble, message Matthew and he'll hook you up. Hi Lex. So I think you'd be so he's just kind of helping out here. Thanks for joining us, Lex. Thanks for joining us, Danielle. So okay, we didn't ever finish talking about the previous draft. So I added up most of the points. I couldn't remember our MVP because it was like kind of a new point thing, so I forgot to be keeping track of it in my little spreadsheet. But it's not going to matter. I do end up winning the draft. I had 230 points in the end. I got an extra 50 points for Sarah at the end, being a winner. Team Celebrate. So Matthew's team is in second place. He ended up with 155 points, getting that 50 points for Danny. And then coming in the rear is Team Fire, Michelle's team, with 125 points, I think. So Michelle unfortunately did not win this draft. But since I did, I get to choose the order.
Side note though, would you have won if Sarah hadn't gotten a win?
If she hadn't gotten a win at all, or the win 50, no, I would have still won.
Oh.
So even if it was a solo winner, I still would have lost.
Correct. Yeah, I had more points along the way. I did. If I took off Sarah's thing, I would have had 180, and I might have even had a couple of MVPs. I just don't remember the last four. So 180.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So this even proves it. You don't have to have the winning team to win the draft. You just have to pick people who are super hateable, and then you'll win.
That was my team.
So that's my technique for this round. So you get to pick the order.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
So I feel as though I'm just going to go first because there's definitely a team that I want to have. I feel as though I'm going to put Fanta second. I'm going to put Matthew third and Darling Michelle fourth. So fourth and fifth would be Michelle. So it's going to be a snake draft. And to start it off, I don't think that there's going to be any surprise with who I am going to choose. Do you guys have any thoughts? I guess you won't say it out loud because you don't want to.
No, but I know what you're going to say. So just say it.
I have a feeling as well.
You have a feeling. Okay. Well, is your feeling correct? Oh, no, sorry about that. Hold on. Shit. Hold on.
Johnny and Raven. I knew it.
No.
Too late.
Stone. You got to go with them.
It's on a video and I forgot to pause it. Where's my spot? There you go. That is who I'm going with. Obviously, I got to go with Johnny Bananas and Nani. Bananas, I believe he's a 7-time champion. He's won the second most amount of money in the millions with this challenge franchise. We don't really see the challenge without Bananas. And also Nani, she watching some of this, the history of the challenge, she has been a really big part of the series as well. We did just recently see a clip of her giving some Nani attitude to Turbo. So hopefully that'll be at least some fight points there. I don't think she's going to get any hookup points because we know that she's in a relationship with Casey. But maybe there'll be some fight points there for the fact that she is going to be partnered up with an ex of hers as well. And so I feel like there might be some drama. Bananas is always making out with people, causing trouble, winning dailies.
There was that clip in the preview where it showed Bananas and Nani and he goes, are we really going to have this conversation now? Or something like that. So that's going to be a moment. And also to jump off of that, Bananas is single. So, well, as far as we know. So we know shit's going to be going down. It's just whether or not the producers are going to show us or not. So
yes, exactly. Well, he doesn't have a girlfriend, so they more likely will show us.
Yes, true.
Because they're not going to try to protect him in that way.
Yeah.
In his relationship. So that is my pick. Any objections, Matthew?
No, I think that's kind of an easy first pick. I think, I'm sorry, I missed, you may have said this already, but I think this is the perfect partner for Bananas at this point in time. He's coming in obviously he's a huge threat, but Nani has so many friends in the house now that she's made in the last couple years without Bananas there that they're not going to throw her under the bus to take a shot at Bananas. So I think with people like Fessy and Casey and Fessy especially, they're not taking that shot at Bananas. So if they're not taking the shot, who is going to take that shot?
Exactly.
So yeah, I think really, I think we're in for a deep run. And if there is last place goes into elimination, I don't see them coming in last. Very much. So yeah, I imagine they'll be there right around the end.
So Les is saying, and I did hear this, but I don't know if you guys heard this as well. Janelle said that she was going to be Bananas' partner instead of Nani, but she had to back out due to her schedule. Was it schedule where she had an injury? No, sorry, that was Naya that had an injury.
Yeah, she said it was just, it's too long of a commitment. But it was really sad for her to say no to it. And I think that would have been an awesome partnership. But I agree with Matthew that being with Nani socially is going to help him a million times more than Janelle would. But him and Janelle working together, if they made it to the end, would be like a slam dunk and give her the win that she deserved already. So
Taylor, and thanks for joining us. I didn't hear anything about Emily, but that would have been an interesting partnership as well.
Bring
Emily back.
The one worry I have with Bananas and Nani is we just saw Nani and Leroy run a final together, and with all due respect to Nani, Leroy could have won that final, but Nani did drag him down a little bit. And if there are other strong pairs running the final against them, I do have a little bit of a worry there. Obviously depends on format of final and a lot of other factors. And I I wouldn't say Leroy is necessarily the same competitor Bananas is, especially in a final. But we did see that pretty recently. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's the right pick, I think.
Thanks. Okay, so problem. So I didn't look at Fanta's post because I just didn't want to see her list, but it had nothing to do with her list. So I actually do not have a list for Fanta. She just posted like stuff about the subreddit that she posted about our Danny interview. Okay, well I guess Fanta's out of it then.
She can join my team if she wants.
Well, she can have the leftover or I guess there's gonna be 3 of us. There'll be a leftover 2 teams, yeah. So I guess. All right, well Fanta is out, which means Matthew is next.
Okay.
Unless she comes through right now.
Choose hard, Matthew, because this is a really important decision for me.
Yeah, so I'm very much torn here. I think there's 2 teams. One, I'm more confident in one of the players, and another, I'm fairly confident in both, but I don't like them as much. Okay, I'm going to go with Amber B and Chauncey. I think he looks like a complete animal. He is jacked beyond belief. We know Amber can run. I don't know anything about him other than he looks like a complete unit. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see Amber on the cast with someone that is truly a ride or die. She's had a bad go at it the last couple seasons with not really getting along with people in the house, being somewhat mistreated at points. So I think nobody's gonna be fucking with her with this guy in there. So yeah, really excited to see kind of a new side of Amber and to see what Chauncey can do out here.
Great pick. I mean, I have them up top as well. You know, in the past, I haven't necessarily been a fan of Amber just from how she's gotten along with people in the game, but definitely, you know, she has that endurance. I do agree with you, Matthew, like with having Chauncey there, she's just going to have a little bit more security and she's not going to be so defensive and so needing to have the approval of the other Big Brother players. And so I think that it might allow her to kind of team up maybe with some other outliers, as opposed to wanting to integrate and assimilate within the Big Brother group. And, you know, it might be her kind of collecting the Michelle and Jay and like people kind of on the outside and having a group that she can work with. So I do think that she's going to have a better positioned game this season. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. I want to see her in a more powerful position and not playing from like the bot, like scraping at like the scraps.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I think, yeah, Chauncey looks like a great partner. She was definitely high on my list compared to where she normally would be. So I think that's a solid choice. And if it's Amber, there's going to be some sort of drama because there's people like Fessy who just hate her for no reason. I mean, you know, she's kind of annoying, but not enough reason for the hate that she's gotten. Mm-hmm. And so I think she'll rack up some points. So we'll see. We'll see.
Agreed. Mishy, you're up for 2.
I'm up for 2. So yeah, I'm similarly having issues of like who I like, who could get me points, who could win. It's 3 very different categories, but I'm just going to go with my gut. So for my first pick, I'm going to go with this team because I just can't stand the idea of anyone else having them. So
I know
I'm
Michelle
going
and
with Laurel and Jack.
Oh, actually you surprised me.
Laurel and Jack. I can't believe you're surprised.
I just thought, but it's probably the other team you're going to pick. So
why did I cross them out? I did that by mistake. Anyways, I'm picking Laurel and Jack because Laurel is my queen. She will always have drama. We saw in the preview she's obviously hooking up with a rookie who I don't know who they are and having drama with them because they have a girlfriend or something. She also will go off in eliminations. She's not afraid to have a fight. She's there with like her best friend Jack. He seems hilarious, so I think it'll be great for her to have him there. I don't know if he'll be a good competitor, so this could be a mistake and they could be out really soon or something, but I still got to pick him.
A great pick for sure. Like, obviously love Laurel. I don't know how Jack is going to do either. I did enjoy him on X on the Beach, Peak of Love. I thought he has a good personality and he's like entertaining in that way. I do think that with having Laurel as a partner, he's going to want to do well for her. So I think that could bode really well for their partnership. And like, he's physically in good shape. So hopefully he's going to be adept in some other physical things that we just don't know about yet. And he's going to be like a really good competitor. So yeah, I think it's a great pick. She's going to have some drama with I'm sure with Tori and Jordan being there, there's going to be something that's going to go on. I'm sure she's going to have some sort of drama with like Nani and Banana. She's just going to have drama with people. So I think it's going to be a great person to get points. And I think it's very possible for them to get to the end. So good job. Good.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's going to want to see Laurel in an elimination. So I think similar to like a CT, she can just kind of use that intimidation factor to stay safe for quite a while. So, I mean, yeah, TBD on what her partner is going to be like. But, I mean, nobody wants to see Laurel in anything. So she is one scary competitor.
Mm-hmm. All right, Michelle, it's you again.
And yes, my next pick, probably what you guessed, I suppose, is going to be Jay and Michelle.
Yes.
Obviously, we've come full circle with Michelle. Well, I'm speaking for myself. Didn't like her first season of Survivor. Grew so much appreciation for her on Winners at War. Loved her on the challenge, what we've seen. She's gotten the shit into the stick multiple times. And I love that she's with Jay. I'm very nervous for them. I think they will get thrown in pretty early on because obviously they don't have as strong ties with people. There's really going to be a major alliance with like the Caseys and the Fessies and the Bananas and the blah. But I mean, they're feisty and I think they're going to work really hard. There's also going to be drama. I have heard the rumors about Laurel and Michelle getting into a fight. So that'll get me points on both ends. Double the fun, double the fights, double the hookups potentially. They're both single people as well. So there's a lot of potential for them for me there.
Also, like, are we going to see some aftermath with Fessy and Michelle? Because they had something happening when he was something happening with Amanda. So I don't know if that's been resolved or not yet. So if you're going to try and resolve it, let's do it on screen and get Michelle some points here. So great pick. Obviously, there are people that I want to root for as well. I am fearful, obviously, of Jay being kind of the smaller guy and being still kind of a rookie in a sense that like he hasn't lasted through a lot of the series. He might be thrown in for sure, but I do think that he might get you a lot of points for sure. And is Jay hooking up with Annalise?
Yeah, I was going to say, I heard rumors that was potentially a thing in the past. So that
and they were supposed to come on as Ride or Dies, right?
I don't know about that. But there were some rumblings that they were hanging out at some points, I guess before filming. So, I mean, definitely at least a connection there, which could help in the game.
Sorry, I forgot to pull up the picture of these two.
Yeah, I think Michelle in particular is really interesting. I think she's got a great mind and personality for this game. Jay has kind of rubbed some people the wrong way in his first couple seasons. So I wonder how much like Michelle is the kind of person that would be able to kind of help mend some fences. And I don't know necessarily the people that Jay pissed off. They're not really in the game anymore, but some of their friends maybe. We'll see what Jay and Banana's relationship is like at this point. I know it's been a few years since Morgan's been in the picture for Bananas now. So We'll see there. But I think Michelle is a nice partner for Jay to kind of maybe be a little bit more mellow this season.
Well, and Michelle's also like, she likes to strategize. And I think that it would be good to strategize with Jay, someone that she trusts. And so hopefully having somebody there that knows how to play these kind of social strategy games will be helpful for them to be able to integrate a little bit better, because she was kind of playing last season with complete newbies. And well, Emmy, I guess, is the one that screwed everything up for her, kind of, with Michaela being outed with the list and all that stuff. So I hope that they have a better run, because I would like to see them on the screen for a little bit longer. And just to show the other team that Michelle picked, just have a visual of these two. So, and also though, just like I actually pulled up all their signs if I could find them. So we see your guy Jack there is a little Sag like you, Michie, and Laurel is an Aries. So that's gonna be a lot of fire. That's gonna be, I think that's gonna be explosive in a good way. So that will be fun to keep an eye on.
Not the best pick, Laurel. She's looked better, but sometimes photos just don't hit. Like, do you know what I mean? Sometimes certain people's photos are like great, and then other ones I'm like, they look better than that in like regular life on the show.
Do you agree with Jelly Donut then?
Yeah.
These picks are not it. I think that they look like, I think like Annalise's picture looks really good, and I like the purpleness of the background, but I don't think Michelle looks good in her pick. And she was complaining about it apparently to Olivia, and Olivia was helping her Photoshop her picture for her so she could look better. But yeah, some of them are not great, but some of them I think they look good. Personally. Matthew.
Yeah, so there's a few teams left I think actually have a decent shot of winning, but there's one team left that is my favorite team, and I just have to take them here. I'll go for the winning potential on my next pick, hopefully, if you don't take both of them. But I got to go Nelson and Norris.
Your favorite?
I have grown to love Nelson so much over the last couple seasons. His confessionals are so funny. Norris, I mean, it's been a while since we've seen her on TV, but she is fiery. Like, she'll be hooking up. She's really funny. Don't know. Honestly, I don't think there's any chance that these two win. I don't know how they're going to do with puzzles. I don't know how they're going to do under pressure. We know what Nelson's faults are, but the last like 2-3 seasons, he's just been so rootable for me. And if he were to get the win and he wasn't on my team, I'd be so upset. So
yeah, true.
I'm going to ride with Nelson and Norris.
Well, thank you for taking Nelly, because like I wouldn't want to have to take him by default. I mean, of course, he's been on our screen for a long time, so you kind of grow to want to see him do well and finally succeed. But then he does things about his character sometimes really piss me off. And there's always at least one time this season where I'm like, I can't stand you, Nelson. Like, you're such a shitty person, you know, like the way that he treats women sometimes I can't get behind. Yes, he does have some funny confessionals, but I'm just not sure if I'm going to enjoy him for this whole season. And he's not the best partner. And so if I'm just looking astrologically, he's a Scorpio and she's an Aquarius. I just don't know if they're going to be able to work well together. But I do think that Maurice is going to get you fight points and hookup points, because she's good at both of those things coming from Are You the One. She even might be fighting with Nelson, because they were in a love triangle at one point with her. And what was her roommate's name?
DeAndre, yeah.
So anyways, yeah, I don't know if they're going to win, but I can totally understand if you want to make sure that you have him in case he does win. I personally don't see it for him.
So one thing I'd be on the lookout for this season with Nelson is I think Bananas is going to pick up Nelson as his like number 2. I think a lot of Bananas people are not here, and it's Nani's people are here. But Nelson was on Bananas podcast a few months, or during the last season. Corey was on the podcast. Bananas has gone overtime in making amends with people that he had beef with before, obviously to kind of set himself up. But I do think when Banana shows up and sees the cast and there's no Kyle or Zach or Wes or Leroy, he's going to be looking for like one of those bros to ride with. And I think Nelson is going to be that person because definitely don't see it being Jordan. Fessy's a little bit too alpha. So I have a sneaky suspicion that we're going to be seeing a Bananas and Nelson duo this season.
I mean, I hear your point for sure. The reason why I don't know if I see that is because Nelson isn't the brightest, and like I think that would irritate Johnny so much. Like just doing dumb things. Like same with Corey, he just does some dumb things sometimes. When and Bananas will be like, "What are you doing? That's so dumb. Like why'd you do that?" And so I just don't know if I see them working well together because Nelson isn't that smart strategically for sure. And Debu, good point here. Nelson and Norris, I dread the episode they have to do a puzzle, right? But actually, Norris might be good at puzzles. She's an Aquarius. We do tend to like puzzles. Who knows? But Nelson on that side, I don't know.
Yeah, for me, it's just like them under pressure. I don't think will go well. Like Nelson buckles under pressure. Norris is definitely a hothead. So that's what I worry about. And I mean, puzzles, I guess, fall under that category. But yeah, definitely risk reward and potentially more risk with that pick.
Definitely risky. So my risky pick here is definitely a hothead, but a hothead that can deliver. Not sure about his partner, but she does seem physically fit. If she can handle dating this person and is willing to come on a TV show with this person, I would assume that she's able to be his match. I would assume also that they would train together. And he is already a winner. He knows what it takes to win one of these seasons. His rookie season at that. I'm going to take Turbo and Tamara. You know he's going to get into a fight. He might get thrown off the season. Who knows? But he is capable of delivering. Definitely. I don't remember if he was great at dailies, but he's able to win the show. So I'm going to hope that Turbo can get me a lot of points.
Yeah, he was up there for me, for sure. I knew you were going to take him.
Gotta.
Like, you see in the preview, he's screaming at this person, he's screaming at that person. He's going to get you so many fight points. Obviously, if he makes it to the end, he has a great chance of winning. I don't know if he'll get there, but we'll see. But yeah,
Turbo's still Turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw the cast list initially and I saw Turbo was on it, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. I did not think we were ever going to see this guy again. I was extremely happy to see him there. Now, in my opinion, he's probably this is the least connected pair in the game, which is saying a lot because there are some rookie pairs, and I still think they're the least connected. That said, Turbo's another scary person to go against. So if you want to throw him into an elimination, we haven't seen him in an elimination yet, which is a shame. I imagine that will change this season. I definitely don't think he's going to go to the end without seeing eliminations. Mm-hmm. But I mean, look at the guy. He's a complete animal. He has a hot temper as well. So, I mean, physical elimination, don't really want to see him. From what I remember, he was pretty good with puzzles as well. His endurance is incredible. So
he won Survivor Turkey, didn't he, as well? So like he's good at stuff. Like
yeah. Now I did notice in the preview, it seemed like him and Nani were fighting, which I thought might have been his only connection coming into this. So if he doesn't even have that, then I definitely worry about his social standing in the game.
I mean, I also don't think that they would show that if that meant that she was going to throw him into elimination or something. You know what I mean? Like, I think that it might be a little bit of a red herring. But I think that people are going to be more scared of him to throw him in than, you know, other rookies. So
I think him and Fessy will hate each other.
Perfect, because that's the next person that I am going to pick, surprisingly. Obviously, I don't want Michelle to have Fessy on her team because that would be horrifying for her. I kind of love to hate Fessy a little bit. Libra, his partner Mariah is an Aries, so they're a good astrological match in that way. And she looks pretty badass on her Instagram. She looks like she works out. She looks like she can hang with Fessy and him berating her about like not being the best partner. So I feel as though he will be able to do well with Mariah, and he's going to be well insulated. He's still friends with Nelson. I believe they've mended fences to a certain extent. I think that he's going to be well insulated with Casey, and that means with Casey that comes Nany, and with Nany that comes Bananas. And so I think he's going to be in a decent position, and people are still scared to go against him. And Mariah looks like she's tall, and people might be scared to go against her as well. So I feel, even though I can't really stand him as a person, I do think that he has a good possibility to at least get to a final. So I'm taking him off the board, Fessy and Mariah.
Yeah, to be honest, this if I was just going off of my head, this would have been probably my number one pick. I think this is a super scary, strong team. Fessy's well insulated enough, and he's probably the biggest male on the cast.
Jelly donut.
Fessy is despise him, but he's hot. Yeah, I mean, Fessy, he doesn't bring much like to the confessionals, but he's a physical specimen. I really think that this is a team to watch out for. Might not be the most rootable, but we'll see what Mariah's like. She seems, I followed her on Instagram. She seems fun. She seems like maybe she could be a nice match for Fessy, but yeah, I think this is a great pick, and I definitely would have taken them next.
I just feel like, I mean, for dailies, I think they will be a force, meaning they'll be less likely to go into elimination. Also, him being so big, less likely to go into elimination. Also, he has a lot of social ties. So all in all, it's a good decision. But like, I just will never see him as a strong competitor.
Like, but he might get me points, man. He might be hooking up with people, fighting with people.
Dating her, right? Isn't he dating her? Or are they friends?
I think they're friends.
Okay.
I don't know, because like Instagram friends. Like,
I don't even know if they actually know each other. Yeah.
Maybe he's just trying to find the strongest girl he knows. But like, if they were dating, I would be like, because then less hookup points, less whatever. He'll obviously have drama points. It's not like he's as bad as some of the others at puzzles. Like I would put him in the medium category when it comes to like that kind of stuff. But in my opinion, I just think he has zero endurance compared to Jordan, compared to Bananas, compared to Turbo, compared to Jay, like compared to Darrell. Like, he really doesn't have that endurance compared to even those people that I just listed. So I never see him winning in the end if he makes it to the final, but he has a great chance to be there.
Honestly, I disagree. I know I'm like the Fessy lover here, but not really, but I disagree. I think I know Fessy played college football in I think a Division I school. Mm-hmm. I don't know where he played, but he does have an athletic background. And I mean, we just saw Danny, obviously a different story. Like, he was a professional football player, but Fessy did play college, and I think he also played college basketball. So he is an athlete. I don't think endurance is going to be an issue for him. I think what might be the issue for him is I mean, we saw with eating. Eating is going to be a problem. I think puzzles he'll do okay, but I do think Fessy can win a final, and I don't think he is. I don't think he's going to struggle even against Bananas or. I mean, Jordan's a different story, but I think he could beat Bananas in a final.
Oh, I do not agree.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, the point is also to be gaining points, right? So we know that he's going to most likely be there till the end. Like, he has a lot of opportunity to get points for dailies, get points for hookups, get points for fights. And so the longer he's there, the more points he's going to get me. He's going to get some points for getting into the final. So I'll take the cumulative points from Fessy, even if he's not necessarily the winner. So longevity points.
Yeah, true.
That's
And you
what
know
we're-
what? If everyone ends up quitting the final and he wins the default, hats off to him.
So another thing about Fessy, I think, is kind of with this cast, especially, it's like, from what I understand, the alumni of the show essentially got to pick their partners for the most part. Now, I know there's some that are kind of random pairings, and Fessy is different from someone like Casey, where Casey's picking her brother because it's her brother and she loves her brother. She is not necessarily going to win with her brother. I mean, look at her brother. He doesn't look like he's going to win a challenge. And that's probably why he hasn't been picked yet. But yeah, exactly. Fessy picked someone who he is going to win with. And that's the only thing Fessy would do. Fessy's not picking a weak competitor.
No,
so I have high hopes for Mariah here as well.
That's fair.
Good point. Those are my two. Back to you, Matthew.
Yeah. So with mine, I'm gonna go with Jordan and Aneesa. There's obvious risk there as well. I mean, I don't know if Aneesa can win a final, a modern final at least. That said, I mean, there is a chance that Jordan ends up running alone. I know it's something we kind of chatted about offline a bit is, maybe there is a possibility that it's a kind of War of the Worlds situation where they run the game in partners, but then the final or the end game is individual. And if that's the case, Aneesa's social game and her bonds are going to carry Jordan towards the end. And then they're going to separate potentially. And Jordan is going to be the one that succeeds there. And it's going to screw over Aneesa. But I think at this point in the draft, like, if you can get Jordan, that there's like a lot of win equity there. Definitely some hookup equity with Jordan in particular. So, and fights. So Jordan's going to be potentially Jordan will be fighting and hooking up with the same person. So that could be double points in multiple episodes. So yeah, I think it's got to be Jordan and Aneesa here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you can't let Jordan go too far. I do worry about Aneesa here. She's a little bit of an anchor, but we know that she is capable of still winning dailies, which I think is important. And she doesn't
smart.
Yeah, she's smart and she doesn't usually get last. So I do feel as though her social game and then also them doing decently on most of the dailies, I think they'll stick around for a long time. Aneesa's pretty used to getting very close to the final and, then getting eliminated right before the final. So she's probably going to be around for a long time. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like she's going to get any hookup points. Maybe she'll get fight points, but I don't know with whom. But yeah, I mean, it's a solid pick for sure. Jordan is one of the number one champs in this franchise.
Sorry. I just had a thought, and I can't believe this is the first time I'm having this thought. Yeah. Aneesa and Jordan are ride or dies. Aneesa is Tori's best friend from the challenge.
Yes, we
know
this.
The fuck is going on with that?
Well, because Aneesa's original partner, I don't remember the reason why he couldn't be on it, and then Jordan's original partner was Naya, and so I think they just kind of grouped them together.
But the fact that, because we saw in the preview, Tori's going to be surprised to see Jordan come into the situation. Obviously, that means that they can't go for each other because she can't go against Aneesa. Aneesa is not going to let Jordan go against her. And so they're going to have this tension in these fights, but they really can't retaliate against each other. So that is going to create such a crazy environment.
Yeah.
Wow.
And honestly, them bringing Jordan onto this season is one of the reasons I'm so excited for this season. I mean, Jordan could be an asshole. Like, we all know his history, but the last couple seasons have been very much alliance. It was very alliance heavy. Like, the alliance road to the end the last couple seasons, there was no disrupting that. And at the very least, like, Jordan is going to shake up the house. And if anyone is going to pull a Zach and Amanda and say, we're going in, it's Jordan. He's done it before. Like, Jordan has thrown himself into elimination. I don't think he cares enough about Aneesa to not do it again. So if Aneesa really wants to protect Tori, or if Aneesa wants to protect someone else and Jordan doesn't want to, like, he is the kind of guy that will say, fuck it, I don't care, I'm going.
But Aneesa also kind of buckles in those situations and just kind of like, oh, my hands were tied.
But will she buckle against Tori? I don't see that happening.
I don't know.
But I think the dynamic is going to be great there.
Yeah.
Celeste says one of the producers said that the final will be completely different than any other final. That might affect how they compete in the final. Interesting. Sure. I haven't heard that yet, but I don't know what that means, but we'll definitely be speculating as we get closer to the end of the season. Danielle says, I want Aneesa and Jordan to win. I love underdogs. They usually don't win, though. I
would love that so much, for Aneesa to get a win. Don't see it happening, but I always will root for that as well. It's just so weird with all the different relationships. I'm so pumped.
So if Aneesa were to get a win, this would be it. This is in my opinion, this is her last shot at a win.
Yeah.
Well, I saw her also doing some rehab on her knee. Was that before the challenge or was that after?
Yeah. So Aneesa was on Mark Long's podcast last week, and she was talking about how she tore her ACL,
which is a painful one.
But luckily, it seems, at least from what she said, she tore it playing volleyball recently. So This is a recent injury. I think they've been back from filming for at least a couple months at this point.
Yeah.
Now, she could have been lying to not give anything away. So there is that.
If she gets medically DQ'd again, I'm just like, I'll be annoyed.
Yeah, but it does look like we will not be seeing Aneesa on the next couple seasons, which I'm not too unhappy about. I think it's nice to get a break from everyone. So at the very least, she will not be on the World Games in 39, potentially 40.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's because I think it's because she doesn't get in better shape, and so her body is just not used to carrying extra weight, and then she doesn't get the weight off, and then she hurts herself, and then she's weaker, and then she gains more weight, and then it's just kind of like a cycle. She really will have to really shred if she wants to start protecting some of her joints and stuff like that. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, Michelle, you got two.
Okay. So first choice for me, I'm going for this choice because I think they're going to get me points across the board. I don't necessarily think they'll win, but who knows? They could. So I'm going for Devin and Tori.
Knew it.
Devin and Tori. Obviously, we just discussed all the drama. Tori's going to be involved in drama, hookups potentially. Even her and Devin, they're very much like a fresh ride or die. They've had so many fights before. Devin's really good at puzzles, and she's really strong for the women. So they have a lot of potential to win dailies. They won a daily together in the last season. Devin's gotten stronger through time, and he's not my favorite, but he does provide some humorous moments. And yeah, I think that they have a potential to do well, and I think that I need to have them on my team, even though they're not my fave, but I don't dislike, and especially last season, I feel as though Tori, in my opinion, deserved that win over Casey, because just as we all know, the way the days played out, she performed the best day one. I just think that for once I was actually oh, Tori should have won, and I've kind of come around a little bit. And she knows what to bring for the TV, so I'm into it.
Yeah, I think they're a good match. Tori is one of the more brawn women, and Devin is one of the more brainy men. So it's a nice combo there. We'll see how Devin and Bananas are together. This is going to be their first time on a show since their huge blow up back in season 31, was it?
Oh,
31 or 32, whenever this is the first time they've been back together. So it is going to be very interesting. I could see, obviously, Nani is not going to be willing to go after Casey and likely Fessy, but I wonder if Bananas pushes for Devin and Tori, if that's something that the Big Brother people will get behind, especially without Josh here to protect them. So that's my one worry there. On the other hand, I wouldn't be surprised if Bananas and Devin like shake hands and pull a Wes and Bananas, and they decide to kind of let bygones be bygones and play nice for the season. It'll be interesting to see what their dynamic's like.
Yeah, I mean, I personally like Devin, even though we kind of have my ups and downs with him, but I do appreciate what he brings to the show. Hopefully he's not going to be all soft and kind of annoying with like Team Big Brother again. Like, hopefully he will, I don't know if he's going to be going against Bananas just because of like how everything's set up, but he's smart. I want to see him do well. I'm not the biggest fan of Tori, but she's going to bring you lots of points, I'm sure, for all the drama. And they are a strong team. I believe that when they last worked together in a daily, they won. And so I do think it's possible for them to do well together. So I think it's, definitely they were my next pick if it came back to me, for sure. Who's next, Mish?
And then I'm a little conflicted with this next one. I don't know. It's tough for me with these next few, but I think because this is pretty much the only one I get to pick moving forward, I think I'm going to go with a team that I think will get me some points for dailies for sure. And I think this team will be well protected for a while, so they'll have good longevity in the game. So I'm going to go with Casey and Kenny. I'm kind of bored by that choice that I just made, but I think that they're solid. He's obviously solid. I don't think he, like, as you can see, he's not the hugest dude, but there's something about that sibling connection. They'll be able to communicate really well. You know, like they might communicate better than Mariah and Fessy, for example, even if they're less bulky. And she knows what she's doing now. She's done it enough times. She'll have that confidence. They're not going to get thrown in, at least for the first half, I would guess. So while I don't know if they'll be involved in a lot of drama, because Casey usually tries to stay kind of on the outskirts, I do think they have potential to make it far.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I yawn because it is a bit of a yawn. We haven't seen either of them, if I'm not mistaken, in any of the trailers. It just seems like, you know, we are seeing Nani, so you would think that we'd see a little bit of Casey, but it doesn't seem like she's part of the season from what we've seen on the trailer so far. So that's worrisome to me. It seems as though Kenny is a smaller guy, and so I wouldn't be surprised if people would be willing to take the risk, especially if it's like guys go against guys, girls goes against girls. They might be more likely to throw them in. I know Casey's not been in a lot of eliminations for the fact that the women are scared of going against her head to head, but maybe as a duo, she's not as scary. So I don't know. I don't know if I see them going that far, but I do think that they'll be insulated, but I don't know if they'll necessarily be winning lots of dailies. I just don't really know. He might be equally as athletic as Casey and just good at a lot of different things, which is definitely a big possibility just because they're from the same family. So they would have had the same opportunities. So yeah, he might be an underdog, undercover athlete, but he just kind of seems a little boring to me. And we already know that Casey's a little bit boring confessional wise and drama wise. So the apple probably doesn't fall too far from the tree. So they're okay, but a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the reason we may not have seen them much in the preview is there's just not much there in terms of entertainment. Honestly, I mean, Casey's done 3 seasons now and has made the end every time. She's really good at making relationships, so I don't necessarily see people throwing them in, but I could see them potentially coming in last in a daily, especially kind of one of those things where Casey's not great at puzzles. And
Not a
if
good
it's
path.
something where it's like a race and then a puzzle at the end, I could see them, or something physical and then a puzzle, I could easily see them coming in last place and winding up in an elimination. But I mean, Casey's obviously a great physical competitor, so I think at this point in the draft, it's a solid pick.
Agreed. Matthew.
Yeah, I'll go with the first rookie pair. So this guy Horatio, I don't know much about him other than he was on a TV show before the challenge that was a strict endurance competition show. I believe in Turkey. If I'm wrong about the location, my apologies, but yeah, he is an endurance athlete. It was kind of like one of those like ninja type shows, I believe. So
It was him, not Kim.
I think Kim was on a dating show.
I think Kim was on American Ninja Warrior type show, but go on. I'll look it up.
From what I understand about Horatio, I could be wrong. If I am, that sucks. But I believe Horatio is an endurance athlete. Olivia, she's coming from Love Island. She'll bring some drama, probably some hookups as well. Not sure about her as a physical competitor, but I don't even know how these two know each other. It might be another one of those like they don't know each other.
Someone in the chat had said that Horatio and Olivia met like when they got to the challenge.
Yeah, so that is a little bit concerning.
How is this a theme? How are we just making up themes now?
Yeah, that's really weird. So obviously they're not going to have much chemistry in terms of a working relationship, but I think Olivia is like fairly tall and in pretty good shape, so not super worried physically. And then if Horatio is in fact an endurance athlete, I like that as well.
Yeah, I definitely can see them being a number that people are going to pick up. You know, I don't know how good they're going to be strategically, so I can see, you know, the Veronica's kind of pulling them in, or even the Michelle Fitzgerald's pulling Olivia in. The fact that like they were having conversations about photoshopping, I'm wondering if they kind of got along and made a bit of a friendship on the season. So I do think that just because they're not from, as far as we know, strategic competition shows, they might be easily swayed into an alliance and into being a number. So they could be well insulated for a while and get pretty far, because other alliances might be taking shots against each other, and they might be able to just kind of, you know, skeet by.
Yeah, there's going to be a point in the season where they start throwing in rookies, probably early in the season. So we always see that there's the first like few weeks where the easy targets get thrown in. So they're obviously potentially one of those. Just of the rookie pairs, I think like physically they are probably the strongest. So I have the most confidence in them of the rookie pairs if it does go that route and the vets just decide to play nice for a few weeks.
Just decide to, for sure. Who do I want for my next two? Okay, they're gone. Okay, we're getting into the dregs over here. Well, sort of. There's some good teams that are considered dregs right now. Okay, I can't believe that I'm going to go for these two. I will say, though, that they were seemingly a late addition to this cast. And it's probably because of how well she did on All Stars 3. So I never thought that I would say it, but I am taking Kayla and Sam. Now, obviously, Kayla's personality, I don't personally jive with, but a lot of people really like working with her, and she is really in good physical shape. She's still under 30, so she's going to be able to endure a lot of the physical elements of this game. I'm not sure how well Sam's going to do. Obviously, he was on like Love Island, but he's a young, fit guy, and he's from the UK, so at least he'll be decently entertaining. Kayla gets in fights, so maybe she'll get into some disagreements with some people, if cross my fingers. And I think that it is possible for them to win some dailies. she will be insulated with Nani and her with the Holy Trinity minus Jenna. And then she's going to have that whole side of Big Brother with her. And that means also Johnny Bananas with her. And so I do think that Kayla and Sam will be pretty well insulated, at least in the beginning. And I don't see them being the worst at anything to be thrown straight in if that's the rules of the season. So I think it's pretty good getting them this low.
Yeah, she also has Veronica now from.
Oh yeah, Veronica.
So I think, she has connections. She's obviously done well before, as recently as this year, even in All Stars 3, she did very well. So Sam's a wild card. I've never seen his Love Island season, but don't know much about him. Obviously, they're married, and
he's also on X on the Beach too. So was he going to know Laurel? Was he on that season? Yeah, he was on Peak of Love. He was Georgia's ex.
Yeah, so there's, definitely connections there, and I do think like Veronica and Jarrell are going to get targeted over Kayla. I would imagine if they're seen as like a duo there. Yeah, and it's nice. I enjoyed Kayla on All Stars 3, actually. She's kind of hit or miss on the main show, but I did like having her back and was happy to see her on this cast as well.
So I don't know what to do for this next one. I don't know if it's too disrespectful if I don't choose the next person or this person next or not. You did just mention him, Matthew.
I'll take them if you don't. So.
Well, then I'll take them. Obviously, I want this team to do really well. I've been, loved Darrell since forever. But since he's come back into the fold, he hasn't made it to a final yet. And the finals that he's made on All Stars 1 and 2, he didn't end up winning. And so I'm wondering if the winning Darrell is a thing of the past. It's been like 16 years since he's actually won a final. And I'm not sure if he is going to be able to do it against these group of people with this particular partner. So Veronica, yes, she used to be really competitive when she was younger, but she's older now. And we know that she just broke her toe and she couldn't even finish her season of All Stars 3. And so she's good politically. And so it's very possible for them to get to the end politically. But I just don't know if Veronica would be the partner that you'd want to have to run the final with. So I'm going to take them just because so much disrespect if I took another rookie team before them. But I don't know if I have that much faith in them winning this season.
Yeah, so Veronica is actually my favorite player of all time.
You love Messi, huh?
Yeah, she's my favorite challenger. I love her so much. She is still extremely savvy politically. She's a great strategist. And she really dominated All Stars. I think Wes even had said that Veronica controlled the whole game on All Stars 3. The worry is obvious. I mean, she's definitely at this point better suited for All Stars than this type of show. It's a different ball game.
Less facts. That's true.
Facts. He's got second place essentially twice. Like he did win those seasons of All Star. He's good enough to win against anybody in a final, but not with Veronica as a partner.
Yeah, and I think the thing is Veronica is similar in a way to Anissa, where they're obviously like not in the same shape they were in 10 years ago.
Do you think there'll be any drama between them because they are exes?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You already kind of did that whole thing, right?
I just worry it's like so Veronica and Anissa are in a similar boat, but Anissa just has way more connections that I think Veronica and Darrell are an easy team to throw in, especially if, it looks like they might be entering a little bit late into the game. I'm guessing probably not too late, maybe just an episode or two in. But I could easily see them being like easy pickings there and not many of the other alumni like really putting their neck out for them. So I hope they go far, but I'm worried for them.
All right, Matthew, up to you.
Okay, who do we have left? Is it just rookie pairs?
Kind of. So there is Johnny and Raven, Tommy and Annalise, Nom and Emmy, Kim and Colleen.
Okay. I don't know
And this
anything
is your
about
last
most
pick, I
of
believe,
them.
and then you'll
Yeah.
be leaving 3 for Michelle to choose her last pick.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me walk through this then. Okay, I'll go with Johnny and Raven. I don't know anything about Kim and Colleen. I don't know anything about Emmy, and I feel like I don't know anything about Nom, and we've seen him on 2 seasons. So, and then Tommy and Annalise. I mean, I can't take them. So yeah, I mean, Johnny is in good shape. Raven looks like she's in good shape. There'll be hookups there, so let's see what they can do. I think Devin. Are they dating? I don't know their connection, but Devin Walker had recently had a podcast with CT actually, and Devin said that he bets that no Love Island person will ever win a challenge. So I thought that was funny. You know what? You're probably right. So I guess maybe they won't be winning, but maybe could win a elimination or 2.
He's going to be probably part of the Team Young Bucks, new addition.
Yeah, I could see a relationship with Nelson for sure.
So yeah, I mean, definitely where we are at, I think that they're probably the best pick. Johnny's quite competitive. And Raven looks like she's also in a really good shape. Always have to support the Aquarius, let's do it. Rarely get any Aquarius on the show, so happy to have you, Raven. So yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how he does. Johnny is known to kind of hook up with people, so we might get some hookup points over there. He's he doesn't really get into fights, but
this is Sally's ex-boyfriend, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
I fucking hate this
We
guy.
hate
I don't want him anymore.
We hate Johnny.
Johnny, I mean, we liked him when they were together. So when they were on the show, we were supporting of them.
I didn't.
Until he cast him more. But
Yeah.
I mean, decent pick. Who are you going to take, Michelle? So out of the last 3, so
I know who I want. I'm going to take Nom and Emmy because I can't leave Nom as a non-pick. Don't know who Emmy is at all. Nom is strong. And while he could easily go early, because she seems not, who knows? But when you compare it to like a Tommy and Annalise, I feel like Tommy and Annalise would get thrown in sooner. Annalise could get hookup points, obviously, with whatever might be happening, but I don't see her necessarily getting protected. And then Kim and Colleen, I just don't really know them.
They look like brother and sister. Are they related?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
She was the mole on her season of The Mole. Everybody knew it was her though. Sorry, where's the other 2? And he was from like an American Ninja Warrior type show. Where is her?
I'm pretty sure Kim was the lead of like
No, I was looking for Tommy and Annalise.
Oh, you already passed them. They're the other way.
So Kim, I believe, was the lead of a gay German bachelor type of show. Like he was the bachelor, and it was for like a gay bachelor in Germany. I think from the initial cast reveal, that's what I recall. Maybe the chat can correct me there, but they do look like brother and sister, I think.
Yeah, definitely Game of Thrones for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So you're gonna go with Nom and Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
They're another team though that didn't know each other beforehand and got partnered up at like the airport. So Michelle, are you still in on them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really I don't know Kim and Colleen's relationship, and I see Tommy and Annalise, like, at least they know each other, but I would never call them ride or dies. He was ride or dies with Chrissy. He wasn't Christy. He wasn't ride or dies with Annalise. I think that, like, I don't know. I think Tommy has the potential socially to maybe do some things. And I think he's smart maybe at some stuff, but I just think that like there's looks to me that there's going to be this giant alliance with all of these big heavy hitters, and they're going to hope as long as one of them wins, they're going to be able to knock down these other rookie groups one by one. And I think Nam and Emmy will also be in that, but because he's not a drama person, if drama gets stirred up and that gives people reasons to target, he might be able to avoid for a couple weeks.
Okay, I'm gonna heavily hint to you to maybe choose somebody else.
Oh, okay.
I mean, unless you don't want to take that advice, but
well, now you've told me it, so now I have to, I guess. Like my guess is they get kicked off or something. They end up leaving. I guess I'll go with Tommy and Annalise.
I would feel very guilty if like some of the reasons why some of the teams are going to be on this season is because of this team, I believe.
Well, so I guess one thing I'm confused about then is I mean there's been like rumors about like some COVID issues. I know we alluded to with Anissa's original partner. But why are they announced on the cast list if they're getting pulled?
So this is my guess is that because they wanted to put the fact that Jordan and Tori are going to have a fight in the trailer, that they had to like put them all on the cast list, like to make it make sense in the beginning.
So do you think like Jordan and Anissa are entering like very late into the game, or like as mercenaries? Or
no, I don't think as mercenaries. I think they're coming onto the season. I think it'll be after the second lockdown, and after at least one team isn't going to be returning. Like, I'm not sure of all the details. I just heard, and this has been something for the last 6 months that's been speculated, is what happens in like the first challenge. So I don't know, chat, you can help us out, but obviously we don't want super spoilers. But I as for the draft, I feel guilty allowing you to have those people when those rumors are running. Now, if they're untrue, you can switch back. How about that?
All right.
Okay, so you're gonna take Tommy and Annalise just in case.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens at the first episode. All right, so our teams are, so for me, I got Johnny, Bananas, and Nani. I got Turbo and Tamara. I got Fessy and Mariah, Kayla and Sam, Darrell and Veronica. Matthew, you got Amber and Chauncey, Nelson and Norris, Jordan and Anissa, Horatio and Olivia, Johnny and Raven. And Michelle, you have Laurel and Jack, Michelle and Jay, Devin and Tori, Casey and Kenny, and depending on what goes on, either Nam and Emmy or Tommy and Annalise. Leaving Kim and Horatio, or Kim and Colleen for Fanta, or whomever you don't end up taking. Cool. Well, that was fun, guys. Fun. Do you have anything else to say about this particular season before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. Is there any ride or die pairs that you wish we would have seen on this season that are not on the cast?
I mean, there's tons of people I would love to see. Obviously, we want to see Landon back. We want to see some of these. I would have loved
realistic.
An old school ride or die kind of come back.
I would be interested. Oh wait, never mind. That's not a.
Would you have been okay with them having Kara and Polly on?
I would have been.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it would have been a great season to have the two of them on.
I think it would have been interesting to have them on. So much more drama to be had. But I think that takes away from the Tori Jordan drama. So I think that like they want to focus their energies maybe, but I would be curious to see them. I would also be curious to see who's like actual ride or dies.
I mean, even
Um,
CT and Cara Maria would have been interesting duo. That would have been a nice
CT and
powerhouse.
Emmy would have been great. I think if she was allowed to be on, I think CT and Emmy from last season would have been hilarious to see.
I believe Emmy was supposed to be on with
Yeah,
Emmanuel, correct?
yeah.
They got dumped at the airport.
I'm very happy about that. I hate Emmanuel, so that's fine with me.
But it would have been nice to have a little bit of drama with Tori / Michelle.
No, yeah, but they're gonna have enough drama. They
We
both
could
also
have
hooked up
more.
with Betsy, so
That's true.
It would have been nice to have Leroy and Cam. I know she was
That'd been
pregnant,
nice.
but
Leroy and Cam could have been cool.
Melissa and Kyle might have been fun.
Melissa and Kyle could have been.
I think there was speculation Melissa was going to be with Brad, which I thought was super weird.
Brad?
Yeah, Brad. Who I don't even know if they've ever done a season together, but
That makes no sense.
I mean, a lot of these duos don't really know each other, so I guess they could have spun it somehow.
Oh yeah,
but,
Darrell and Rachel could have been cool. Every ride or die combo I think is like same gender, so I'm like, oh wait, no. Like Kellyanne and Kendall would have been great ride or dies, you know what I mean? But I don't, or like Nehemiah and Wes, but a lot of those wouldn't be possible. So
I think Nehemiah and Melinda would have been fun.
Yes, that would have been. That's a great
Ooh.
ride or die.
I mean, just for jokes, but like just to see them working together again. Tech Money and what's her name?
Ayana.
For jokes. That would be so good.
No, I want him to have someone else, but
You know, like another one that's like pretty obvious, but would be way too toxic, which is just sad to say, is Zach and Jenna. Like seeing them work together would have.
I don't know if I could have handled that.
Yeah, it would be sad because you know Zach.
Georgia. Theo and Georgia.
Theo and Georgia would have been great. People were speculating
Great.
about them too, and like wanting him to come back on this season.
Yeah, I would have loved Marie and Shane as well.
Yeah,
These would have
I
been all
love
great.
Marie and Shane. I would love that pairing as well, and
This could be a new franchise direction though, right? So like I wouldn't be surprised if they repeated this in a couple seasons, kind of like how a couple seasons later they did X's 2, X's 3. Maybe there'll be a Ride or Die 1, 2, and 3 or something. So
yeah, it's essentially like a second version of Bloodlines, right? It's just like not necessarily relatives. So I mean, yeah, wait.
I mean, that's where we're gonna get Kiki and Danny.
Oh, that would be a good Ride or Die. They could have been eligible there. They'd
oh
be
my
a
god,
nice
Kiki and Danny. Yeah, obviously.
Tyson and Angela would have been fun.
Yeah.
Great. Oh my god. So fun. So fun. Well, I'm definitely really excited to see how this season plays out. We will be going live at our usual time slot right after the episode on Wednesdays. I know there's a lot of stuff going on Wednesdays, but we've always done the challenge on Wednesdays, so we're not going to change for anybody. So do you guys have any final thoughts before we say goodnight?
Now, if anyone in the chat has not watched the documentary, give it a shout. It's really fun. It looks like next week we'll be seeing CT talk about Diem for the first time ever on TV. He's never spoken about her, and in the preview, it showed him talking about her. So definitely recommend at least watching next week. Should be pretty emotional, and it's been a good journey.
I think you need the whole thing because, like, when I watched the whole, like, the first 2 episodes, it's I remember like watching it along with it, and so I was like really brought back to like, oh my god, like I was like in high school, or I was like here, like I could start remembering where I was when some of these big events had happened, and so yeah, I think watching the whole thing, it's a nice little journey. And it's really helps you understand people that are like such big the challenge stands, is because like we really have experienced something that a lot of people don't really fully understand what we're talking about. So I would recommend watching all 3 episodes. It's definitely a good time. Mm-hmm. Well, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and let us know who do you think has not necessarily the winning team, but the team that's going to get the most points. And I guess also you can mention who you think will have the winning partnership or person on the team. I'm going to put in the description box below all of our teams, and I'll make a little graphic of each of our teams so we can go and and post those and get some people to vote on their favorites. So please do that. Like this video, and I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you soon.
It's coming. Yes.
Woo!
Bye.